Here on Bill Phillips' Transformation Success Stories.
My name is Chris Winters. I'm an alcoholic and I need help. I have been steadily drinking over the past 10 years. It started out, like a lot of others, just drinking on the weekends and then binge drinking. I had bottles of alcohol all over the house. It's a very lonely existence. I used alcohol to avoid life. I knew the answer wasn't in that bottle. I could have gone either way. That's not living. I got to a point to where I couldn't work and lost my job, and things had to change. I mean, I was unemployed, I wasn't engaged with my family, I was drinking more.
Chris had at least 4 good reasons to make a change. His 3 children and his wife, Ki-young.
My wife is from Korea. I think it was probably love at first sight for both of us. My son, Jaewa, he's just the joy of my life. Jane is 4 years old and she's just a little firecracker. And then our newest addition, Jaina, she's just a little sweetie. I didn't want my kids to grow up with an alcoholic father. I mean, I wanted to be a hero to my kids.
Chris of Mesa, Arizona was on the verge of losing everything when he faced up to the 2 most painful challenges in his life: alcohol and food.
I knew I wanted to get healthier, I knew I wanted to get better, but every time I would start, it would only last a couple of weeks, and then I would revert back to drinking and binge eating. I got to a point where my highest weight was 220 pounds. And the thing about alcoholism is that it's really a denial. It's a very lonely kind of existence. I didn't want to fail again. I had to turn things around, otherwise, you know, the end result was going to be very, very, very bad.
Chris was determined to take the first step.
I said, if I can stay sober for 30 days, then I'm going to join the transformation. Then I'm going to do the challenge, and I know I can do it.
The transformation community helped Chris realize that he didn't have to fight addiction alone.
The support that I got really saved my life. And I remember the hardest part about the challenge was doing the first exercise, which is posting your before picture. And that was tough because I knew I'd let myself go. I got to the point I was embarrassed to take a shower around my wife or even dress around her. And then I had to ask her to take a before picture. It was even harder to look at it because you have to take a really hard look at yourself and say, what has this person become? What have I become?
Chris learned how to control his eating.
I'm addicted to food. So it became a point to where, okay, I'm just going from meal to meal. And then while I was sitting at my meal, I would just reiterate my goals. Just real quickly, I'd say, okay, I'm going to visualize it. This is what I'm going to look like. As a matter of fact, one of my visualization was a photo of Bill Phillips. And I had posted on his picture, I said, Bill Phillips, someday I'm going to have a body like yours.
And Chris turned his vision into reality.
I had looked at the before and after photos of other people, and I had always thought to myself, that's just unreal, or that's Photoshop, or that's not possible. I could never do that. You know what? You can. But that before photo now, it's one of my most favorite photos that I have. And my message to other people out there would be, it'll be hard to do, but it will be your most favorite photo someday.
Today, Chris is happy to have his wife take his photo, even at the age of 41.
I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, the photo's kind of cool, but that's where the real message is captured, that you can do this too.
All right, I can see a similarity. Congratulations, Chris.
Here's somebody who stayed and hid behind his computer all day long and didn't work with his kids.
And now, Chris cherishes the time he spends with his family.
Hi, Dada.
I mean, I really get down and play with him now. I never did that before.
I love you so much.
I love you so much, sweetie. Go get him, go get him. Now I'm a soccer dad. I volunteer for both my 4-year-old and my 6-year-old, and I do soccer with them, and it's great. It's really one of the best parts of my day. I get to go out and I get to play with a bunch of 6-year-olds. How fun is that? They get to now see Dad in a leadership role, and it feels good. Life now, being sober and being healthy, it's what life is supposed to be like. I've really expanded on being a financial planner. I just finished co-authoring a book, and things have completely turned around. I've been sober a little over 200 days, and that's a very short amount of time, but it feels like it's been years since I've had a drink, because I have a completely different outlook, and my body feels different. I mean, everything about me is different. My life is not controlled around my addictions. It's not controlled around my weight. The sky's the limit now.